afternoon, everyone. This is Meet the Candidates with Lisa Lene. I'm your host, and this is another episode. And we have, of course, a candidate for office, District 7,
Yes.
Silas Isaiah Baldwin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And Lisa, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
So we're going to jump right into the questions. We know that the election is August 28th, and we're hoping that you will go ahead and make sure that you are informed about the candidates. Make sure you know about all the candidates and, of course, everything that you'll be voting for on August 28th. So we're going to start with our first question. Tell me about yourself. What about your education, your family, job?
Well, Lisa, I am a lifelong resident here of Bessemer and of District 7.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here, raised here, went to school here, graduated from Miles College, cum laude.
All right, Golden Bears.
Yes,
Golden Bears.
Golden Bears, with the BA in history. And now I've just been accepted into Cumberland School of Law, which I'll be starting next week.
That's awesome. FYI, students, that is number 11. That is the number 11 law school in the United States. So make sure you keep your GPAs high so you can also go to the Cumberland School of Law.
Oh, yes. Very prestigious school. Very, very. Many great politicians, educators come out of that school. And while we're on that, I am an educator. Teach ninth grade history in the private sector, as well as I service over 75% of grieving families here in the city of Bessemer as an employee at Faith Memorial Chapel.
Wow.
So I've been active. I've been involved. I've been in public service, serving families. That is public service. I've been doing that since 2010. Mm-hmm. And so I am very involved in my community, very active and proactive in my community. I will be a powerhouse for change.
All right.
My feet will stay on the ground for this district. I will be a foot soldier for this district that I serve.
All right. That sounds amazing. Like you're really rooted in your family and possibly some things that they've done.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Barely. My grandfather taught over 30 years at Florida A&M.
Wow.
He was the chair of the psychology department there, and so I have a long history of educators in my family who taught the importance of education.
Wow, that's very essential, and thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
As we talk about education, what books are you currently reading?
Well, of course, since school will be starting next week, I have been reading the Introduction into Law Studies, as well as other different law books. Mm-hmm. And I always read the best-selling book in the United States, and that is the Bible.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So that's 66
That's
books.
66 books.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to read that on a daily.
Gotcha,
so those are the books that I'm reading now.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. We're going to move on to the next question. It's shifting from the personal education onwards to, of course, schooling. So, what was your favorite subject in school?
Well, once again, of course, I'm a history teacher. So, of course, history was my favorite subject. I have always been delighted and excited to learn where we come from and how this country was formed, and all different kinds of history, Asian, European history, 18th century history. I've just been very amazed about history. You can learn so much. Although it's a lot to read, it's very, very comparable.
Yes. And I have to say, as a U.S. history teacher, one of my favorite quotes is, quotations is, people without knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots. And you have to know where you came from in order to know, where you're going. You got to make sure that you stay rooted in who you are as a person, who you are as a people, and, thinking about pride and determination and resilience. Those things really, really stick with me.
And I am a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in really remembering where you come from, but not forgetting as well.
That's right.
Not forgetting where you come from.
Awesome. So, as we speak about this, I want you to also tell us, in reference to students, as they start the new school year, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Stay focused. Be resilient. be able to at least read a book every day. If you do not have any homework, make some for yourself. Be on top of your game. Remember that obedience is better than sacrifice.
That's right.
You know, obey those who are in authority over you. And, be able to be strong in what you and confident in what you in. Don't be bullied. Don't allow yourself to be bullied by anyone. You know, you be strong and confident in yourself. You know, I was raised like that. You know, from my grandfather on my mom's side raised 10 kids.
Wow.
And so we were taught, you know, you answer to what someone calls you. Don't if your name not Duck, don't answer the duck.
Right.
And so we were raised like that. And so it takes a village. It takes a village, and the important thing is you know, be able to succeed and listen. Listen is the key.
I think that's so powerful. That's so powerful. We're going to come right back with you in just a moment. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. This is Lisa Lene, and we're here with the candidate Silas Baldwin for District 7. So, what do you love about Bessemer?
I love Bessemer's rich history. Bessemer has a lot of history that dates back, you know, many years ago, and I like that we are on the progress. We are moving forward. Bessemer has garnered so much attention in the last 10 years. Since I've graduated high school, we have received a new high school. We have garnered a new recreation center, a new city hall, and now we are about to have one of the biggest companies come to Bessemer, Amazon.
Right. That's going to be amazing.
And so Bessemer is on the move. Bessemer's on the prowl, and we just love Bessemer. We love that we are native, and we are very proud of Bessemer.
That's awesome. Just as he said, we're going to be on the move. I noticed that there's a little glare in the mirror, so what we're going to do is shift just a little bit. We're going to keep recording, y'all. We're going to keep recording. I just want to make sure there's glare in there. And there we go. All right, here we go. So, next question. We've got, you know, of course, you love Bessemer. What do you want to improve about Bessemer?
I would like to see Bessemer have a thriving downtown. Also, I would like for the council and mayor to have a better working relationship with our school board members by making our school districts, you know, better and more, improve our school districts. I would love to see that. I believe that education is the key, and so if we be able to work together, we can get a lot more accomplished.
I think that's so true. That's so true. So with that part, you know, what prompted you to run for office?
Growing up, I have known that every politician speaks of change. But when will that change that we say we're going to make be produced? When will we put action to the changes that we say we're going to make? And so me just being active and involved and proactive in my community, I see that we have been misrepresented far too long. And so with that being that misrepresentation, I was compelled to run because I know that I can be a voice for this district. I can be a foot soldier for this district and be the change that I speak. It's more than just saying that I'm going to be changed, but you have to be changed.
Right. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right. And so I will be that change that this district needs.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So with that piece, you know, what position are you running for, and what are the major responsibilities that are connected to running for that position?
I'm running for Bessemer City Council District 7 here, and I believe the responsibilities is, first of all, just being transparent, being active, being involved 365, not just during election year, being proactive in your community, being able to just answer a simple telephone call from your citizens, being visible when someone in the community passes, and just being that that shoulder to lean on when your citizens need it. You know, that's I think that's some of the big responsibilities, and not just lying on me, but also having the citizens be more involved, have the citizens being more active. One man or woman cannot do it for him or herself. It takes a village, and so I believe that if we can work together, we can get a lot accomplished. But I would like to see that the citizens get more involved.
I think that's important. So with that part, how do you think you can make a difference by being in this position?
Well, continuing to be a mentor, like I've always have been. Like I said, I've been in public service since 2010, and so it's a part of me being that voice in the educational system, being able to let our people know that education is the key. My grandmother once said that they can take your money and everything, but they cannot take what's inside of here. They can't take your education away from you.
That's
and
so true.
Continue to be that voice for education, and being visible and vocal, and being able to bridge the gap between faith-based organizations and city government. As some of you know, that I am licensed and ordained myself, so being able to bridge the gap.
That's so important. Thank you for sharing that. So with that piece, of course, you say you're going to be able to make a difference in the community. What changes do you plan to implement?
I just like I said, being able to have a better working relationship with the mayor and school board, being able to be more visible in my community, being able to make sure my community is clean, and being active and proactive, seeing a better downtown, and an educational system. That'll be two of my main focuses.
I think that's really important. So with all of those things, thinking about the position and running for office, how has this impacted your family and your loved ones?
Well, it has had a big impact on my family, due to the fact that we have had to open up our lives, to the public, and this is what we decided to do. So, we were confident and able to do that, but my family has always been so overprotective of me, and so when they see things, they are so in a hurry to attack other people because they have attacked me. But I have to let them know that this is a part of it. This is politics, and although politics don't have to be this way, people allow to be used by that. And so I tell them, when they go low, like Michelle Obama said, we go high.
That's right.
And so we don't stoop to anyone's level. We rise above that. We will be that tree that is planted by the rivers of water, and we shall not be moved.
All right. That's a good song to remember too. And I love the fact that you touched on that part. I know you mentioned Michelle Obama, but I'm also a Drake fan. So I love that verse. It says, "A wise man once said nothing at all." Sometimes people don't need a response from you because what they said was worthless. So thank you for sharing that. And when they go low, we go high. He believes that too. All right. Next piece we have, of course, what are your big plans for election night?
Well, not necessarily big plans, but we will be. I will have family coming in as early as this weekend.
Wow.
To partake in these festivities, and we're just going to enjoy each other's time and be at my grandparents' home. Enjoying him and really celebrating him and all that he has done for raising 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Being that legacy and that figure that we need. So we'll be celebrating him as the results come in, and just thanking him for all that he has done for us, and that's about it. We're just going to be there enjoying him. He's not in the best of health now, so we would allow.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, allow him to be around him during this time.
Okay. So, of course, we're talking about election night. Have you planned your acceptance and concession speeches?
Yes, I have. I flow a lot from my heart, and so I speak from my heart. I rarely write things down, but I have prepared in my mind and in my heart a concession speech and an acceptance speech, and I will deliver both of those when the time permits. And so we believe that we will be victorious on to either way, win or lose, because we have fought a hard-fought campaign, and so we believe that it will be well.
That's good. It's definitely a positive way to look at it. So very healthy. So with that piece, of course, with the election ending, win or lose, there's always going to be a winner and loser. So if you are elected, will you be willing to work with those opponents in your race?
Oh, most certainly. I will be able to work with anyone who gets in office, because I win or lose, I'm going to stay active, because that is me. I am a public servant, and so I will stay active and proactive in my community, and I will be able to work with any candidate.
That's good. Now, if you unfortunately, if you are not elected, will you be willing to reach out to the opponent who won?
Yes. I've prior to election, I have spoken to both of my opponents, and I have wished both of them the best of luck, and I mean that with all sincerity. And yes, I will reach out at the time when it's applicable to wish them much success in the future. Okay. Win or lose, I will reach out to both candidates.
Okay, that's very important. So now, as a final piece of our interview today, I want you to look in the camera, and I want to give you this moment by yourself, if you'd like. Tell the people, why you're running for office and why they should vote for you.
Well, I'm running for office once again because I know that I am the best candidate for this position. I am the most qualified for this position. I've been active, I've been involved, and been proactive in my community prior to running. And so I believe that we cannot wait another 4 years for progress. We cannot wait another 4 years for change. We cannot wait another 4 years for our share of services and opportunities. And we cannot wait another 4 years for bold leadership. And we certainly cannot wait another 4 years for Silas Baldwin. So we ask that on August the 28th, 2018, you come out to the polls and vote for a man of integrity, a man of action, an educator, and that's me, Silas Baldwin.
All right, folks, that is the conclusion of our interview today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Silas Baldwin, for being here.
Yes, and before we leave, I would like to thank you for all that you do for our city and your district. Thank you for being that voice that we need. You have come back home to Bessemer and shaking up things.
I didn't mean to. I just want to be on social media.
Well, you have really made an impact.
Meet people, see who wants to make a difference.
You have really made an impact, and we are so thankful for you, and all I can say is just keep doing what you do.
Thank you. So on that note, of course, this is Meet the Candidates with Lisa Lene. I'm your host. Thank you so much for being a part of this interview. And remember to vote on August 28th. Please make sure that you are informed about all the candidates on the ballot. Make sure you know your voting location. And of course, make sure that you watch those forgot the word. I'm going to find the word in a minute. The election results. Make sure that you watch for the election results at the end. So we really hope that all of our candidates who are qualified are, the winners. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day.
Have a good day.